Pecha Kucha 82 accountancy course, and yeah, so this week I'm kind of on an entry level accountancy course. It was Monday and Wednesday, and it kind of derailed the week. But on top of that, I was also having, my perpetual existential crisis on what it is to be a professional, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I was in the job center and I saw this flyer, and it's it's kind of, I tick all the boxes. I have no background in accountancy and finance. Do I want to know about self-employment and how to regulate that stuff? Yes, yes, yes. So I thought there's no harm in me going on this course, but it's so basic. This is a real page from like the booklet for information. They want you to be able to talk about circles and squares and triangles. What? Well, the level of this thing is so low, they need to make sure that you're up to GCSE standard because it really is for 10-year-olds in terms of content. But then the irony is we were given test questions, and like they ask things about things like remittance advice, which we haven't covered. So, which is like you send this thing back with a payment when you've had an invoice. So it's kind of it's playing it's weird, but it's kind of fun. It's interesting to be on, right? So on Tumblr, I found a blog called Castle Swimmer. It's like an online comic, and this person on Tumblr has got the comic book archive system. It's called Page Archive in this list. It means you can read the thing in order. I'm trying to figure out how I get that, but I couldn't quite figure it out going through all their pages and stuff. So I kind of was, yeah, I was on Tumblr just like looking at comics. I just searched for comics, and of course I saw high level art like this in between all the web comics and stuff. Of course, this is the kind of stuff that stands out. This is the typical spread, right? You get super good stuff in one part, you get funny stuff that's competent, and then you get stuff that's that internet meme garbage, right? And I'm like, where am I on this page? Who do I want to be? Obviously, I resonate very heavily with Ghost Rider riding Venom, but I don't know. And again, what kind of tools am I going to use? So this is the homepage on DeviantArt. I scrolled down once, and this is kind of a pretty fair assessment of what DeviantArt is. It's a variety of different people of different levels, and I had intended to create a profile there, and it's I'm just sticking my head around, seeing what's there. I see this as I scroll down. And because it's kind of, I'm like, this is probably airbrushed. It's My Little Pony. This is how the internet works. And I just wonder, is this something I should be looking at? The person helpfully put up a process, a couple of shots. And it seems pretty obvious to me. They've just done it in Photoshop. They've airbrushed it on top of a kind of a simple black paint layer, and they've just worked their way around, and right at the end they've kind of adjusted the lighting and stuff. And is this so far beyond me that I couldn't do this month or next month if I worked at it? No, not really. They have a Patreon. This is their Patreon. They earn approximately $400 a month from making My Little Pony fan art on DeviantArt. So this existential crisis I'm having about not being able to make art from money, it's yeah, maybe I should move on from that. Right, so this is a spread from Albie Figs, a book illustrated by Warren Pleece, who was the guy who did Incognito last week. And right now my brain is telling me this is the way I should be thinking about making comics, just black and white, kind of cartoony style, like Steve Dillon with Preacher, because that's kind of where I sit. And it made me think, why don't I go back to that old Spider-Man comic I was working on that's on my computer that's destroyed, so I can't I can't work back on it. Spider-Man visits Doctor Strange. That's his house on the left, which I'm going to try and accurately reference. That's my little storyboard thing on the right of Peter Parker looking up at the door. And it's weird because like right now I'm storyboarding it so roughly there is no dialogue. This is not how I create comics. But Peter Parker knocks on the door. It's opened before he hits the door. He's all nervous. The butler meets him. I think his name's Wong. I think he's Chinese. Doctor Strange isn't really my thing. Doctor Strange is meditating, flying, of course, because that's what he does. Parker explains he's done something bad and he needs it undone. He needs some serious help, and Doctor Strange is kind of like, you will have to pay a serious price for serious help. Are you prepared for this? And of course, the premise of this is Peter Parker has revealed he is Spider-Man to the world in the fallout of the Civil War series from way back when. And what he did in the comics is literally made a deal with the devil, Mephisto, to retcon history so people didn't know he was Spider-Man anymore. So this is me, having not read those comics, this is my version of the story where Doctor Strange goes into his basement and summons Mephisto, and it's, yeah, well, this is as far as I've got, so it's about 5 pages of a super rough storyboard. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how I'm going to do it. And, you know, I was just, for some reason, I just wanted to use the chalk brush again, to do something a bit, you know, less professional or more professional. I don't know. So Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher, just looking at his likenesses on Google and just trying to, you know, get a sense of what he looks like, just as an attempt to do something practical this week. And this is a book I've been sitting on for a long time, Art Fundamentals. So long I actually forgot what the book was about. Imagine that. It's got anatomy and architecture and touches on a lot of things. It'd just be good to work my way through that and kind of figure out for the rest of the year what it is that I want to be putting up online. What kind of tools, materials, brushes, compositions, and themes. But first I got to get through this accountancy course. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Hopefully I'll have more stuff to show next week. But it really does kind of confirm what I always thought. The idea of me balancing an art career against a day job is laughable with my current level of willpower. So yeah, what I really need to do going forward is to just not worry about production and just enjoy, well, no, enjoy producing, but not worry about like production quality. The most important thing is to be sitting in the chair doing the work, right? So that's what we'll do. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 82, and I'll see you next time.